What up, y'all? How's it going? BenDeen here. Today I'm going to be revisiting some old distant nightmares of my past, man. So just like the title says, when I first got to Korea about 5 years ago now, I ate this every single day for the first year I was here. This is a cheese pizza from a place called Pizza School. You can get this for about $5.29 at the current exchange rate. This used to be even cheaper, almost $1 cheaper. I'm not really sure how the exchange rate was back then. It used to be a little bit under $5, I believe. And man, I haven't had this for years. I just kind of want to revisit it and maybe talk about those days, because man, those are some dark days, I'll tell you what. Not my darkest days though. Pretty good days, actually. It's a lot smaller than I remember. It might look a little bit large on screen, but it's not too large in person. I thought it was bigger, but I guess not. It's got the classic smell. They changed the box, but here's what it's looking like. Pizza School. Ew. God dang. So this cheese pizza usually comes with corn, but I always asked for no corn. Classic. All right, let's get a slice. It's rock hard. Their delivery service not up to par. It's one of those pizzas where you throw it on the screen and then it goes through the conveyor belt heater like Domino's, I guess. Maybe all pizza places do that, but I spent many a day sitting in there watching them make my pizzas, man. Anyway, let's go in for a bite. I mean, the top looks good. Just got so many feels right there. Good feels, some bad feels. I mean, it's a cheap cheese pizza. It's not, I mean, without the corn, it tastes just like a regular cheese pizza that you find for $5 pretty much anywhere you are in the world. There ain't too much special about this. Nothing at all, really. But let me tell you what I used to do, man. This is gonna be more about maybe like a little story time, but not really, because there's not one little particular story at all. Just a year of my life. So this place, I discovered this place a long time ago when I was first living in Korea for a few months. It's hard to explain, but I was here on like a little trial period before I officially moved here. I discovered it back then, and I was broke back then too, so I was eating a lot of this, but not every single day. When I came back here in 2014, I was broke as a joke, and I knew exactly where I was going to get my sustenance. Pizza School. So I was living at a Goshiwon, which is basically like a tiny, I don't even know what you call it, like a kind of hostel type of situation. But you have your own private room, but it's so tiny. It's like a jail cell. I found a couple pictures that I'm going to show you right now. This first one is taken from the door, my doorway. You walk down the hall and you see all these tiny rooms, and they're a pretty popular thing in Korea. A lot of times you'll see students living there, or just broke people, maybe castaways, runaways, I don't know. A lot of students though, and I was just living that student life. I was living there. It was fine. It was more expensive than it should have been, because it was right by the school I was studying at, so they raised that price up for us dumb students, lazy students. But as you can see, man, I didn't have no window. One of the worst parts was my bed was literally touching the bathroom walls, which just really bugged me. I'd almost rather have no window than have that situation. So sleeping was a nightmare. I can't believe I actually, man, yeah. So one of the reasons why I liked this place was because it had a kitchen, though, a private kitchen, if you can call it a kitchenette. I've stayed at quite a few goshiwons in my day, just for a couple weeks at a time, here and there. This one was for the long haul. I did a pretty much like a year-long kind of contract deal type of situation, but usually you can do like really short-term contracts. But it was pretty run-of-the-mill, not too fancy, not too shabby. They'll always have a kitchen, a shared kitchen. Usually they don't have a kitchen in your individual room, but there's always a shared kitchen with free rice, free kimchi, and free ramen, usually. So I'm like, all right, I can live for cheap. Let's live for as cheap as possible. So what I would do is I had a cycle, a 3-day cycle. I would spend $10 on food every 3 days. So about $3.33 per day on food. What I would do is I would go to pizza school, which there were 2 in my vicinity. One I had to walk about 30 minutes, and the other I had to take a subway about 2 stops. Both were inconvenient in their own ways. Like, I don't want to be carrying pizza on a subway. And also that's, you know, $1 each way. So I rarely did that. I would usually just walk 30 minutes, and I still remember that walk. And then I would order my food, wait there. I would sit there in the pizza place and wait, because I wasn't confident in my Korean, I guess. I didn't want to call ahead or something. I was a little bit scared back then or something, but it didn't take long for them to make this pizza. Maybe 10 minutes tops. So I would do that. I would get 2 pizzas, bring them back to my crib. I would immediately throw one in the refrigerator. I had a tiny fridge. Immediately throw one of them in there. I would sit down on at my desk, had a little tiny desk, and enjoy the hell out of this one pizza. It was 1 out of 3 days was just, I was in heaven, just eating the pizza to the face with no worries whatsoever. Relatively fresh after a 30-minute walk home. And that was really the only time I would get full. 1 out of 3 days. One pizza would fill me up. And that's pretty much all I would eat for that day. So the next 2 days of that 3-day cycle, what I would do is I would start digging into that, the pizza that I put in the fridge. So I would actually eat twice on those days. What I would do is I would eat half of 4 slices or half of the fridge pizza for either lunch or dinner, and then for the other meal I would eat the free ramen that the goshiwon, or the little hostel type of situation, was providing. I would run it back the next day, eat the last half, and I'll tell you what, man, this pizza right here, I don't know if you can even tell, man, it's already like, look at it. 2 days in the fridge and it'll turn on you. Even with putting it on the frying pan and trying to heat it back up, ooh. I mean, it's already starting to get turned already, but man. So yeah, the 3rd day was always the roughest because the pizza was hard as a rock. And then the ramen. If I got really hungry, I'd eat some of the rice and the kimchi. Those are on desperate days though. I usually didn't dig into that rice. Just had a big rice cooker with a bunch of rice, and I'll take my ramen. And I lived that way for about a full year. I lived at that place for 1 year. Exactly. And I got the hell out of there. it was a ripoff. I was paying probably about $550 a month for, but it had internet, it had water, electricity, heating, all that stuff included, which was a good thing, but that was really expensive for a place like that. You can get, if you have a decent deposit, that's the thing why I stayed there, is because I didn't have any money for a deposit. And then after a year on that, I was like, yo, I hit up my rents. I'm like, yo, help me out with a deposit, even like $5,000 so I can move somewhere else. Because even with $5,000 deposit, if you move a little bit farther away from the school, you can get a much better place for a lot cheaper. It's all about, yeah, if you don't have a deposit, you're kind of dead in the water a little bit. Another reason why I lived there was because they had a washing machine in my room, which I really liked. I've never been big into communal sharing. I'll tell you, man, one of the worst Goshiwons I've stayed at. I've probably stayed at 4 in my whole life, 4 or 5. One of the worst ones was when I first came to Seoul. I didn't have anything booked, so I was literally wandering the streets with my luggage, fresh off the plane. Found the first one I could. I was desperate. I'm like, yo, just give me any room you got. It was half the size of this one in the picture. No bathroom in it, no closet, no kitchen, no refrigerator in it, just a bed. That's all it was. And I was like, all right, whatever, I'm desperate. I need a shower though. I'm fresh off this plane. I need a shower, so where's that bathroom at? Oh damn, it's shared. It's a shared bathroom. I go up there. It's like on the next floor. No joke. I wish I could have taken a picture of it. It was like a dungeon from the Saw movie. I'm not even joking, man. If not worse. Not one light bulb in there. Rusty, dank, smelly, just rusty. It was crusty, man. It was crackling and oof, man, that was rough. I got out of there real quick. Ah, man. But yeah, anyway, so that's how I lived for a year. I guess I spent like $100 a month on food. So, I mean, rent was like I said, like 500 or 600. I'm not sure the exact exchange rate. $100 on food, that's cheap as hell. And then, you know, the other money I spent on going out, meeting people, making friends at the bars. Not really though. I went to the bars, but I would always just pregame. Soju, $1 at the convenience store. Buy a couple of bottles of soju, drink them, and then just have a jolly old time. Yeah, that, man. Those were some days for sure. Those were the good old heydays though. I remember sometimes people would come over to my room and the first thing they would notice is not even the size of it. I don't know if I must have been lazy or something, but I had pizza school boxes stacked up at least 15, 20 high. Right in the entrance of my doorway, because that's the only place I could put it. I didn't really have any floor space. So, pizza school, man, it got me through the days. You know, I've been making videos lately, like what you can eat for $5, what you can eat for $4 in Korea, which, I knew about those places back then, but I'm not really sure. I I needed my bread, you know. I'm a bread guy, and once I get into a routine, man, it just I get sucked into those routines. So every 3 days, man, back and forth. I can't lie, it was really nice to eat this pizza again. Was it good? No. Will I ever eat it again? Probably not. I guess today's video was just an excuse to eat this pizza and try it out once and for all, maybe. Anyway, that's about it for this video. A lot of jibber jabbering, I know. I apologize for that. This wasn't really about the pizza, but a little bit. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. I gotta get out of here. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.